You're watching Newstainment Television.
I don't know how to say this again and again. I know he doesn't like it, but I think Shahid is getting better with age, like a fine wine, brother. You're looking in such brilliant shape. You must be happy with looking at that. ना थोड़ा सा वो होता है कि मैंने अपने आप को देख के थोड़ी सी खुशी महसूस हुई.
First of all, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming here. I know a lot of you are going to be traveling later today. So thank you for making the time and coming here and sharing this very, very important experience with us. It's great to have you guys. कर ले बेटा, कर ले. तोड़ दे सब कुछ. ऐसी picture बनाई है हमने. And obviously great to see you again, brother. We go back a long way. We've known each other from college. So before we start doing anything together, we always first reminisce for 10 minutes about the past. He's usually bitching about me, and I'm defending myself. But it's great to be here. Bloody Daddy is, I mean, it's something that we planned almost 3 years back. This was pre-COVID. Actually, just when COVID had started, and it was very difficult to make films of a certain size and scale. So me and Ali kind of wanted to make this film, but we were wondering how to make it. But somehow he has a great production team, and we were able to make this film in one go at a time when shooting was very, very difficult. So it's a very cherished film of ours. We worked very hard to make it. We had many challenges that we faced. But the best part is when you see the product and you feel like none of that shows. Ali is a fantastic filmmaker. He understands this genre better than I do. So it's a privilege for me to have him help me in this film. It's my first actioner, and it is designed for OTT. I saw a lot of comments when the teaser came out that, you know, why aren't you putting this out in the theaters? And trust me, we were all tempted. But this is designed for OTT, you know, and it was meant to be for that kind of a platform. And of course, no better platform than Jio. So we're very, very fortunate that this film will be coming out right after IPL, when all the eyeballs are on, you know, JioCinema. And can't wait to share the film with you guys. This is the first time we've shown the trailer. I'm so glad it wasn't on a phone and it was on a nice big screen, because that's where, you know, it's fun to see an action film. And I hope people will watch it on the biggest possible TV back home. I think that, you know, a few years back, the people who were open to change kind of recognized that OTT as a digital platform is going to explode, and the accessibility and comfort of that platform cannot be ignored. It is the reality, and it is going to happen. I think we're very fortunate to be in a time where we can divide our energies in two separate areas and actually work in two separate areas which are very different from each other. I think watching content at home, you know, in the comfort of your house, till the time you want, stopping it, having a meal, continuing to watch it, is a very personal and a very enjoyable and a very comfortable experience. And going to a film theater to watch a film is more like an event experience where you want to go out with the family, have a good time, you know, maybe go out for dinner, go to the mall, watch a movie, make a day out of it. And both have their place. So I don't see any, you know, I don't see theater and OTT, I don't see them kind of colliding into each other. I see them coexisting next to each other as two very, very good options. And as filmmakers, as actors, as content creators, we now have more avenues to choose from. I think the challenge for all of us now is to understand that how this has, the entire, you know, ecosystem around us has changed. And we need to adapt and know which content we want to take on which platform or on which, you know, screen size. You know, and that I think is what we all need to work towards. So even though a lot of people wanted this film out to be in theaters, in fact theater exhibitors called us up and spoke to us about it, but we kind of stuck to what we truly had envisioned for this film, which was creating a film which is a big screen experience for the OTT platform. Because I think that is what is happening internationally. Like if you see a film like Irishman, for example, when Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro and you know, that stellar cast, who are actually people who are now in their 60s, 70s and 80s, can recognize that it's time to make that shift as an added option to the fact that you can make movies as well. I think for us younger lot, we better wake up to it, you know. So मैंने अपने आप को अली की गोदी में डाल दिया था. ऐसे यार तू ये एक्शन बड़े सालों से कर रहे हैं and all your actors look damn hot doing action, मेरे को अच्छा दिखा देना. So, you know, that whole credit goes to Ali. I think he understands how to bring action that is, like he said, cinematic. It's gritty. It's not, it's not like a amusement park के उसके अंदर एक एक कोई उड़ रहा है कुछ हो रहा है. Of course that also works and there is place for that. But what really excites me is when the action feels very raw and when it feels like it's happening and the way that it's being shot, it feels like you're in the middle of it and you're kind of, it becomes really nice and edgy and sexy. So I think that's what he also wanted to do. And it's also a very interesting combination as a subject of a very characters emotion driven. That's why it's a titular part, because the character is central in the way the story is told, but the ambience and the world that he's a part of and the stylization of the action and the treatment, so those two things need to go hand in hand in a subject like this. And I really must say that Ali really brought his A game onto this film. We were shooting in very challenging circumstances and Himanshu right here had to do all the spade work, all the back end work. So really a big round of applause for you, Himanshu. You really made this happen. And I think Ali has a great partner in Himanshu and they work beautifully together. But just the way he put the whole thing together, it made it very comfortable for me. I think Ali and me have known each other for many, many years. He was actually, hadn't debuted as a filmmaker when we kind of worked together. So I've seen him in those days as well. He was waiting to make a movie. And I could see that he has so much ambition and desire and sometimes frustration that why can't I make a film that I really feel is going to work in today's time. And I feel so proud of him to see how he has come all these years, and now he's married, he has a beautiful family, a beautiful home, and he has a little baby now, and that all that has happened in the last year and a half. So I feel like we're kind of in and around from the same time. I think I'm just a couple of years kind of senior to him, if I can say so. But so I just feel like we were both in a space where we could collaborate, our energies matched pretty well. I think he's also thinking long term, he's become a man, he's settled, he wants to work a certain way. He doesn't want to compromise on the kind of work that he does. He says, मैं नहीं करूँगा picture. नहीं मैं करूँगा ही नहीं इसका ऐसे सब. So I love that about him, that he doesn't want to compromise. It doesn't matter what kind of film we're making, he wants to give it his best. And he's very alive on the film set, I'm used to doing these films which are very performance oriented. Of course, this is also, but then this has a lot of other things happening as well, right? You can't just put the camera and then expect the actor to act. So, on the first couple of days, I realized I'm not top priority on the set, So he has this guy called Bablu, okay, who is his twin, okay? He is on Steadicam. Oh. And we couldn't have done this film without Bablu. If you guys don't know Bablu, go check him out. He's a rager.
And he used to be an action star early, action boy.
I realized I'm the second hero of the film. Because Ali was not interested in what I was doing till Bablu got what he was doing, right? After Bablu and Ali were happy, they'd look at me and say, "नहीं ठीक है, आप जाओ, आप break लो, आप नाश्ता कर लो," But it was a great experience working with Ali, and this is my first action film, and I couldn't have asked for anybody better to do it with, because I don't think I would have looked this good or been able to do it this well without the kind of experience and understanding that Ali has. And so I'm very fortunate that I got to debut in action, which is a very different genre, very, very different genre. It needs to be, especially when you're on set, the way things happen is very different from most other genres. There's too much happening on an action set, and he made me feel very relaxed and comfortable, because I'm your daddy. No, that's the context. I think the context is that, वो गाना है ना, सीधी गल करा, real talk. I'm the real boss. So, daddy is a word you use in that context as well. The rest of it, when you see the film, I'm sure you'll understand why the word is there. And bloody to abhi to blood to dikh hi raha hai. But I don't want to talk too much. But जब आप film देखेंगे तो it will be clear why that word is there. But it's also used in terms of like with attitude and style, like in that, like Big Daddy, like in that way.
Is there any song in this movie?
Ali, is there any song in this movie?
Yes.
Do I feature in that song, Ali? Do I get to dance in your film?
See, it's a different film than the film that I've done before, because there is song, गाने हैं, लेकिन वो गानों का पिक्चराइजेशन बहुत अलग तरह से किया गया है. जैसे आपने देखा ट्रेलर में, the story is about one night, what happened in that one night in that hotel. So गाने हैं, आप जब फिल्म देखेंगे तो आपको गाने भी मिलेंगे, बहुत सारी कॉमेडी भी मिलेगी, कोकी कॉमेडी मिलेगी, दिल्ली की action milega, so there's a lot in the film that is packed in 2 hours.
And my favorite song in the film is the one on which I am actually doing action and not doing dance. So I thought that was a really cool idea. He said, "Sir, we're making an action film, we're going to be pure, and I'm going to give you a song, but you're going to be doing action on it. So I thought that was super cool. देखिए, फर्स्टली तो मैं कोई ऐसे टॉल क्लेम्स कि हमारी फिल्म कुछ रीडिफाइन कर रही है, आई थिंक वो अच्छा नहीं लगता. हमने अपनी तरफ से पूरी मेहनत की है. जैसे अली ने कहा कि दिस इज़ मेड फॉर एन ऑडियंस जो ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड. OTT गेट्स कंज्यूम्ड यू नो एवरीवेयर साइमल्टेनियसली. तो ऑफ कोर्स उनके माइंड में ये होगा, बट आई थिंक अली का एक्शन यूजुअली बहुत ही ग्रिटी और बहुत ही एजी और न्यू एज होता है. इसमें बिकॉज हम एक सर्टन जॉनर की फिल्म बना रहे हैं, वी हैव गॉन मोर टुवर्ड्स रियल, बट उस रियल के अंदर अली का फ्लेवर तड़का आते रहता है. एंड एक्चुअली दैट्स व्हाट मेक्स इट वेरी एंजॉयबल कि ऑन वन हैंड ऐसा भी है कि आपको लगता है ये एक्चुअली हो रहा है, ऐसा नहीं लगता अरे यार ये सिर्फ फिल्मों में हो रहा है, बट उसका जो एक एड्रेनलिन रश मिलता है, जो एक मज़ा आता है कि अरे यार मज़ा आ गया. आई थिंक इस फिल्म में उन्होंने उसको कंबाइन करने की कोशिश की है. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज़ अ वेरी बिग USP फॉर द वे द एक्शन. दैट्स वाई ज़्यादातर सवाल जो आ रहे हैं वो इसकी स्लिकनेस के बारे में या इसके एक्शन के बारे में ही आ रहे हैं, बिकॉज इट्स आई थिंक अ वेरी डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ लुकिंग फिल्म. इट हैज़ अ वेरी फ्रेश काइंड ऑफ विजुअल ग्रामर, सिनेमैटिक ग्रामर. और एक्शन ग्रिटी मुझे भी पर्सनली पसंद है. अगर एक्शन में इमोशन ना हो, अगर एक्शन के अंदर फीलिंग नहीं आए कि कैरेक्टर घुसा हुआ है उस सिचुएशन में, तो मज़ा भी नहीं आता. सो वीव ट्राइड आवर बेस्ट एंड आई थिंक इंडियन फिल्म्स आर गेटिंग बेटर एंड बेटर एंड बेटर. और जो हिंदी फिल्म दे सकती है ना, वो हॉलीवुड फिल्म नहीं दे सकती. शायद हम थोड़ा सा भूल गए कुछ टाइम से, लेकिन यू नो वो आएगा. अच्छी फिल्में आएंगी तो वो फीलिंग वापस आएगी. हम हिंदुस्तानी हैं, हमें बाहर जाके यू नो चाइनीज़ खाना और ये सब अच्छा लगता है, लेकिन घर आके जो अपना घर का खाना है यू नो दाल मखनी जो होती है ना, दाल मखनी होती है, उसका जो मसाला होता है, उसका मसाले का टेस्ट ना वो बाहर कहीं मिलता नहीं है. तो हो सकता है बेहतर फिल्में बनाने का टाइम आ गया है, लेकिन इस फिल्म में वो सब मिलेगा, हिंदुस्तानियत भी मिलेगी, which is what I really like about this film.
Yes, Shahid and Ali. Hi,
Hi.
Russell here from PTI. So my question is to both of y'all. Y'all have kept stressing on the factor of how we need to differentiate as to what comes on OTT and what comes theatrically. What I wanted to know is also when a film has this kind of dark content and there's a lot of extreme violence in it, there is blood, there is gore, there is drugs as a central theme. Automatically does the choice become easier that this needs to come on OTT because theatrical is become more of a family viewing medium now?
यार मैंने तो कबीर से किया, मेरे लाइफ की सबसे बड़ी हिट है, वो अडल्ट फिल्म थी. ये सब ज्ञान जो अभी यू नो आप बोल रहे हो, दिस वर्ड्स दैट यू नो दिस डार्क एंड दिस एंड दैट, सब बोला था लोगों ने कि यू नो बहुत लिमिटेड होगा, बट इट टर्न्ड आउट टू बी द बिगेस्ट सक्सेस ऑफ माय लाइफ. सो आई थिंक वी शुड थिंक फ्रेश, है ना. लेट्स स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग, लेट्स ऑल टेल आवरसेल्व्स हमें कुछ नहीं पता है. जो हमें पता है वो पहले के लिए रेलेवेंट था, अब नई चीज़ें हो रही हैं. ऑडियंस क्या देखना चाहती है ये उनसे पूछते हैं ना, हम पहले ही डिसाइड कर लेते हैं. यू नो वो सही नहीं है. हम डिसाइड कर लेते हैं कि यार ये फिल्म तो इधर ही आएगी, वो फिल्म को. तो लेट्स रीलर्न, लेट्स बिकम स्टूडेंट्स अगेन, लेट्स बी ओपन टू द फैक्ट दैट वी डोंट नो एवरीथिंग एंड द थिंग्स दैट वी ग्रो अप काइंड ऑफ थिंकिंग can change, which is what Ali started by saying, that you know cinema is growing and post-COVID we're in a different phase. So I don't think anything flies anymore. If your product is fantastic and if you've made it correctly, you put it out nicely, it will find its audience. This year I debuted on OTT with Farzi. Trust me, the amount of love I got, जो अली कह रहा था ना कि जो प्यार आपको महसूस होता है, जो आपको सामने से मिलता है, अब तो ऑनलाइन भी पता चलता है आपको. अब तो यूट्यूब पे मैं जितने भी यहाँ पे लोग हैं जो वीडियोस बनाते हैं ना 15 सेकंड वाले, 30 सेकंड रिव्यूज, मैं सब देखता हूँ. ओके, तो देयर इज नो वे दैट यू कैन हाइड. एवरीबडी विल से व्हाट दे वांट टू से अबाउट योर प्रोडक्ट. कई लोग अपना मुंह छुपा के बोलते हैं, कई लोग मुंह दिखा के बोलते हैं, बट बोलते सब है ना. सो यू कैन नॉट रन अवे फ्रॉम दैट. That is the reality of life, and I feel that a good film is a good film is a good film, a bad film is a bad film is a bad film, an average film is an average film. Everybody steps into a viewing experience with a certain expectation. Either you meet their expectation or you don't, and on certain really fortunate days you exceed their expectation. And that's pretty much what it is according to me.
शाहिद आपके ठीक सामने
आपको मैं कैसे भूल सकता हूँ. आइए शुरू कीजिए, राउंड 1, टिंग टिंग.
भाई प्लीज एक सवाल है.
हाँ एक सवाल. शाहिद जी आपके किरदार ने बताया कि हर रात की एक कहानी होती है. बात तो सही है कि हर रात की एक कहानी होती है.
तो अपनी पर्सनल लाइफ में मत जाना, ओके, TMI हो जाएगा.
आपके के रात की ऐसी कोई कहानी है जो आपके लिए मेमोरेबल है?
मुझे पता था बेटा, खर्राटो वाली कहानी है, सुनोगे?
हाँ जी बिल्कुल।
खर्राटो वाली।
ऐसे कोई ब्लडी डैडी की कोई कहानी है रात?
तू अपनी बता दे, यू आर डाइंग टू टेल अस। तेरे मन में है कुछ कि मैंने किया था ना उस रात, वो सबको बता देता हूँ मैं आज।
चलो यही रैप करते हैं।